although I really understand your concept of making our money work for us, and this is very clearly a good, simple formula that enables me to work out, is it or is it not? How do you work out when you're doing something, but you have a different agenda with it in mind? So for example, let's say social media, we might be thinking we're raising our brand as a result. Do we still need to price that in the same way and cost it out with the ROI in the same way? What's your feeling about that?
You still need to see the ROI, because on the ROI, your return on investment can be monetary. Your return on investment is more of a count. So I'm going to throw a social media out. I want to increase my followers on my Facebook page by 2,000. Did my budget accomplish my return on investment? And in that case, my return on investment may not be a sale, but it may be, upping what my followers are. My return on investment, okay, you're doing a podcast. I'm going to try this, but my return on investment is I want an additional 500 downloads. So even if you did one or you tested it on a smaller level and said, all right, I did this. Did I get my 50 downloads? So now I'm willing to invest more because I have a basis on whether this is going to work or not. But you cannot constantly spend your advertising budget on things that will not put cash in your pocket.
Absolutely. But I sense that it's more than just about advertising, as you've already said. It's actually about almost, there's a myriad of different tips, and that's just in the ebook, let alone being able to take up the opportunity of your intellect and your experience. And I think this is where it gets a little tricky. Most of us assume we understand how to run our own businesses, but actually, if we're not prepared to look underneath our own noses every now and again, we're probably completely missing A, where we can benefit from reducing some of our expenses, or B, value the actual release of greater profits. And this is where the power of 10 really begins to make intellectual sense. It's not just what you're doing now, it's what difference is that likely to make if you add it over 10 years. That then becomes a much bigger figure.
Oh, huge. And when I'm saying your ROI on that investment that you have in the advertising, whether your goal is, social media wise, where you're trying to, you've got to have an expectation of how that advertising is going to perform. It does not meet your expectation. Why are you still throwing money at this? The black hole sucks your profit away.
Yeah.
And the thing about being a business owner is you get to choose. And what's very hard for most business owners is many of us came originally from a background. I did. Most entrepreneurs I know, you were a great employee. You were fabulous at what you do. You were talented in everything else. And then you decided to move out of being an employee to being the employer. And as the employee, you were never privy to all the decisions and all of the things that the person at the top who owned the company, everything from payroll to taxes to advertising to inventory, whatever your situation was, you did not have to do all of that. You just had to be a fabulous employee. And it is a huge shift for a business owner to go over and suddenly have to do all of these things. And where do you get the help? Who knows how to do it? And if some of your peers are struggling and they want to help you, but they still haven't got it yet either, where do you go? Where do you get it? And business owners are busy. I could teach you, you went through, and how long did it take you to go through that digital book? Realistically, how long?
I think I probably absorbed some key messages that fired a number of synapses in the brain and started me thinking probably within an hour.
Okay, you could take that time, but with many business owners, even if I need to dive down on a concept, I need to be able to get you a concept. And and folks, what she's talking about on the digital book is there are actually 8 different things in it. So within an hour, she was able to go through 8. But if I need to drill down, I need to be able to get you this concept in my mind within 10 to 45 minutes, get it down so you understand it, and maybe have a workbook or a tool or a repeatable formula you can do. You probably don't have 8 hours that you can give me 1 hour for the next week. No, I have to have an answer now. And purposely have scaled it for busy people because they don't have the time. They need the answer now. They need to understand it. They're intelligent. they just haven't had access to this before.